Okay, so then the other thing too is in the midst now, Patrick and I are big on marriage relationship. And we're big on being there, engaging the faith, engaging the family, and engaging with one another through the life happenings. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I always tell people when they would call and check, or when I was, different clients calling, I can't come in, life is happening. But anyway, Patrick and I still carved out time to process what the happenings that were happening, to find out what insights are you getting. Are you okay? What's on your mind? We prayed together more. We had to protect our space more.
Mm-hmm.
We had to let go. It was so fun. I had to let go of one of the people that I never thought that look I had been wrestling with this thing for years, but I was able to freely let it go. If they're not there, I can't focus in on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it's time for them to come back, by faith I pray my heart will be free and open to forgiveness. But meanwhile, I'm going to be serving where I'm called to serve. But anyway, one of the interesting highlights that I was like, oh wow, God, that is interesting. When our son finally got some good rest, this was during a time where he didn't have the machines and stuff on him.
Right.
And Patrick asked me out on a date. He asked me to go to the vending machine and we shared a frappuccino. You know why? Because we realized we didn't have enough for two.
Well, no, we had enough, but the machine wouldn't take the card.
Oh yeah,
We didn't
that's
have
right.
enough cash.
Yeah, that's yeah, okay. We didn't have enough cash,
Right.
and
But the machine wouldn't take two, so we had to share
uh huh.
one.
We shared a mocha together. We
Right.
had a we had a coffee break, and we dated in the waiting room. It was
Mm-hmm.
just us, and we just talked, and we just was processing it and figuring it out, and it was just good. It was just good to hold one another and to reassure one another that we didn't do anything wrong. It's
Mm-hmm.
just this is life. Like everyone we talk to saying you don't know that it's gonna happen.
Correct.
It's not like okay, if you tall and you play ball, then
Nine
yours
times
go.
ten, your
Yeah,
appendix gonna burst.
yeah. No
Right. Or
one
rupture.
knows.
Right.
No one knows that.
And so her saying that was as a married couple, you have this goes to all the videos that we've talked about the word intentional, that even in the midst of being intentional to date is all the more necessary to carve out date time. Now, it wasn't that we would go ahead.
And dating, and I think I want to redefine this. This dating is not just for the moment of just being in each other's presence. You really are carving out time to connect.
Mm-hmm.
You are making time to fully engage and connect with your husband, with your wife in the midst of life, because guess what, we can be sharing things and doing things together and we're together, but then sometimes you may find yourself disconnecting in the midst of doing the life
Because
responsibilities.
that can happen. Like there can
Yeah.
be so much going on that you can't, that you have no control over, whether it be sickness or death in the family or loss of a job. Like all those things are taking away time from you connecting with your spouse. That it all the more is necessary for you again to be intentional to connect.
Mhm.
Another reason why I wanted, because we were on the go. It was always on the go, on the go, on the go, on the go, on the go. I think the first, because of the weather or the ice and the snow, the first 3 days I was at the hospital by myself.
Yeah, we didn't even see each other.
I
Yeah.
think she came the fourth day,
Mhm.
and then the fourth day we did together. That fifth day I went home by myself.
Uh-uh.
Cause
I don't think I think that was 2 days, 2 or 3 days later. We
okay,
stayed up there the first because it was so. Yeah. I don't think you
but we
went
but
home
we
until.
had to. So we had to. I know at one point I need to go, and she stayed up there, and then she came,
We had to tag
and we
team.
and then we went, and then
Mhm.
we stayed together,
Mhm.
um, just because. So for me, it's like when you're in a situation like that, it's always good to have not the patient, but it's always good to have two other ears there, because she might hear something that I didn't hear, and I might hear something that she didn't hear, And so you can say, well, yeah, one of y'all could have stayed home. Well, yes, that is true. However, when you're dealing in those situations, just my philosophy is that there should be more than just the patient's ear there. It should be two other ears, two other sets of ears to be able to hear or ask questions that may not have been asked. Um, so, so we're there, and one of the reasons why I wanted to get away and just kind of debrief or to talk about it or to just kind of exhale a little bit is because we just we're we're just going, we're going,
You're on
and
adrenaline. Yeah.
we're not taking the time to figure things out. It's just okay, go, 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 go. Now the reason why I understand that because of my experience. Here's what I mean. When my dad died, I went from I had to go straight from son to primary caregiver. And so my mom has multiple sclerosis and she has diabetes. And so there's all these things that I wasn't aware of, that she needed her pills and all this kind of stuff because my dad took care of all that because he told me that's his wife. But now I'm jumping into this new role and and burying my dad at the same time that I hadn't had time to grieve. So it took me 10 years to find a place to grieve. And it
I
was
think it was
at,
6.
huh?
I think it was 6 years.
I think it was 10 years. It took me 10 years
He gonna stick with it, y'all.
to find time to grieve. And it was at a family reunion. And I was about to preach at the family reunion. And I looked out and saw all these faces except for my dad. And let's say 5, just go. 5 years of holding the grief in,
Yeah.
not being able to release, it all came flooded out at that time. And I couldn't talk. I couldn't breathe right. And it just balled out. And so for me, I'm like, okay, we need space. You know what I'm saying?
Process.
To
Yeah.
process. Let's go on a date. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for that.
Let's go on a date. So let's go to a place. You know, I for some reason I asked one of the people on the nurses was there a waiting room? She told me there wasn't one, and I knew it was, and so I walked and found it, and then we went in there, cut the lights off. It wasn't like pitch black dark, but it was
You
it
can
was
look
enough
out
for
over
us
the
to be
hospital
able to
and
just
stuff. Yeah.
be in each other's presence, and we were able to have time. We got a halftime
Yeah.
intermission
Yeah.
before we got back into the groove of taking care of, making sure our son was taken care of.
Yeah, and I do I want to highlight this point too. Is in the midst of life happenings and in the midst of you assuming responsibility, it doesn't matter if it's during a medical emergency, if it's during loss of let's say you're in the grieving process, sudden loss, if there is in the midst of a job loss, relational tensions or whatever, the enemy don't stop.
That's deep.
He does not stop. And so we have to make sure, and my good friend Ansley shared this with me too recently. We have to make sure that not only we have strategy, but we have tactics to get the job done.
You believe your marriage is in need of coaching? Shamika and I are certified marriage and life coaches. Just log into our website, www.hiswifeherhusband.net, to book your discovery call.
Wives, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, put his wife in the notes section.
Husbands, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, put her husband in the notes section.
Husbands and wives, if you are looking for marriage coaching as a couple, put his wife, her husband in the notes section.
Remember, our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your marriage
from a biblical perspective.
So go on over to www.hiswifeherhusband.net to schedule your discovery call today.